Hi you guys, welcome back. I want to talk about once again the first trimester. I had so much to say about the first trimester. There was a lot that happened and that went on during that period of time. I planned on doing a series, a 3-part series, the first trimester recap, the first trimester Q&A, and how to survive and must-haves for your first trimester. So I already filmed the first trimester recap and today I'm going to be doing the Q&A just because a bunch of you guys have asked me questions about my particular experience with the first trimester and just personal questions in general that aren't like just as broad to the first trimester. So I'm going to be answering all of those for you guys today. As always, make sure that you subscribe and turn on my post notifications because I'm uploading every single week about my pregnancy journey, makeup videos, hair tutorials, things like that. You should actually drop a few makeup looks that you want to see in the description. Tell me whatever you want to see, whether it be a makeup tutorial or whatever it is in general. I want to know. Okay. Let's get into it. So I have all the questions written down that you guys asked me specifically on Instagram. If I didn't get to your question, just ask me in the comments and I'll make sure that I answer it there. First question is, was it hard for you to conceive? I actually had 2 miscarriages before this pregnancy. When you experience something like that, it makes you ask so many questions, like to the universe, to God, or whoever it is that you believe in, whatever it is that you believe in. You don't understand why such a terrible thing would happen to you, but it truly all makes sense to me now because looking back on those 2 other pregnancies, I wasn't ready. It truly prepared me for this pregnancy. So technically it's not hard for me to conceive because I've gotten pregnant 3 times now. But those first 2 times, I mean, it just didn't work out. It just didn't stick and it just wasn't the right time for me. The first 2 pregnancies, it was an accident. It wasn't planned. And this time we weren't using any precaution. We knew that this is what we wanted. We didn't want to force it by saying, okay, now is the time. We kind of just wanted to see like when it would happen. After we miscarried, we were like, we didn't even know that's what we wanted, but then we knew for sure. So we decided to like not take any precaution at all and we just wanted to wait for it to happen. And it took like half a year, like 6 to 9 months for this pregnancy to happen. So we were kind of worried at first, for sure. We were like just kind of thinking like, okay, well, I miscarried, so is something wrong? Is something going on? We went to the doctor and the doctor actually told us to wait a year and see if like a year from my miscarriage. So we had like a few months to go before we were really gonna start asking questions, but then it just happened. So along with this question, a lot of people have been asking me how I got pregnant, and basically we just threw all precautions to the wind. Every time that we had sex, he did the thing, you know? I don't know how else to say it. I don't know if this is gonna get demonetized for even saying the word sex, but yeah, that's how we did it. Like I said, at first we were kind of nervous because we were like, okay, we're not taking any precautions. Literally every time that we have sex, like, we're doing the thing. I also wasn't forcing it in my head. I was just like, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen, but that's how it happened. Okay, next question. Are you going to find out the gender? So I feel like this is what I talk about the most out of any pregnancy topic. Like, I am so excited. We are finding out. We're finding out on December 22nd, which is like exactly a month from now, which is insane. This pregnancy has flown by. I swear in my soul, in my heart, in my being that it's a girl in there. I've thought that from the very second I lifted up the pregnancy test and it said positive. I have dreams that I've been holding her. Gerald has dreams that he's holding her. Everyone in my family, all my friends, you guys even think that I'm having a girl. So we'll see, but I'm doing a gender reveal video. We will be doing it on December 22nd. We're actually doing it on December 22nd because that is when my family is getting together for their Christmas. So what we're gonna do is FaceTime them so that they see it like when we do the actual reveal, and then I'll be filming it on the camera as well. So I'm so excited. I'm hoping to get that video up like the day or the day after because you guys, that's like the most exciting thing ever. But I'm also so nervous because I'm like, what if it's so, I mean, it's a 50-50 chance that it'll be a boy. So I'm like, if that does happen, obviously like all I want is a healthy baby. That's truly what I pray for every single day. I'll feel so stupid almost because I swear, like I've been swearing that it's a girl. So I don't know, we'll see. Comment below what you guys think it is, truly. Not because you want me to have a girl or because you want me to have a boy. Like, let me know what you truly feel in your heart that I'm having. Okay, next question. How do you feel about getting pregnant at such a young age? I feel so much older than what I am, especially making the move to Oregon was like, I matured so quickly. Like I said too in the first question when I was talking about my miscarriages, like the first 2 pregnancies that I lost, I wasn't ready. And I can honestly say now that I'm as ready I feel that I will be. Sorry, my camera just stopped. But I'm 21, which is technically considered young, right? I mean, but then it's like, what age would you consider not young? Like in your 30s? I don't really know, because my parents were 17, like freshly 17. So it's like, I've grown up with that my whole life. I'm just used to that. I know a lot of people that have had babies in their teens. My parents were so thankful that I surpassed their age mark, but I don't know. That's kind of a tough question because I truly feel like no one will ever be 100% prepared for a baby. You know what I mean? Unless it's like one of those odd, unfortunate circumstances where you can't get pregnant and it's just like that's all you want is a baby, which is so sad. It kind of makes me want to cry because I know that there are some people that like seriously struggle with getting pregnant, and that's why I feel so blessed and grateful. But I never want anyone to feel like I'm rubbing it in their face or bragging or even complaining about pregnancy. Like, that's never the case. So that's just a side topic, but I just wanted, just in case anyone is out there watching this video that's in that situation, I just want you to know that you're loved and I'm sending you love. So I just feel like there's never a time that you will feel 100%, you'll never 100% be ready for a baby, you know? Although it's like, yeah, I'm considered a young mom, this is all I've ever wanted. I know that like this moment truly defines who I am as a person and as a woman. Yeah, I don't know. That's really my answer to that question. I'm nervous for obvious reasons, but I'm also not like sad or upset or disappointed. A year ago, I was so over like drinking and partying and like all that stuff. I did enough of that. Okay, I truly did enough of that, and I was done with that anyway. So I feel like, honestly, I've never been more ready than right now. So yeah, okay, next question. I hope you guys are like liking my answers so far because I don't know, whenever I watch videos or anything like this back, I'm like, did I even answer their question? I don't know. But anyway, okay, next question. What are the best and worst parts of pregnancy? So, oh God, there are so many ups and downs. There really are. And most of it is hormones, to be completely honest. Like, pregnancy is the most beautiful, amazing, and special thing that a woman can go through. So it's almost like I don't even know if I can say the worst parts of pregnancy. I would say there are moments for sure. I would say the bad parts are more or less just the hormones, because every emotion that you feel is heightened by a million. I've said this before too, I haven't felt like this since high school. Like, my hormones are raging. You're just so emotional at everything, you guys. You feel everything so much more than a normal human being that doesn't have a human life growing inside of them. It's kind of insane. So I think that if I had to say that there was a bad part in pregnancy, I would just say that it's definitely the hormones, because who wants to go through high school emotions all over again? Puberty? No thanks. I don't wanna. It's just what you have to deal with, and honestly, I'm like, bring it on. Like, I can take it, because at the end of the day, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know? It's all worth it, and it's all gonna seriously make so much sense when you hold your baby for the first time. I do want to say one more thing with that question. I feel like nobody understands how I feel, and I know that that's so not true, because there are so many women that are going through this right now, the exact same second and moment that I am. But I guess what I really mean is, like, my dad is like the most insensitive human being, and just my boyfriend. Like, I'm just like, why are people not listening to me? Why can't anyone understand what I'm saying? Why can't anyone understand what I'm talking about? I just feel so misunderstood, and I felt like that since the very beginning of this pregnancy, and I've honestly really struggled with that. I just thought of that as I was moving on to the next question. Like, I know there's got to be something, and that has been like the #1 struggle for me. It's like what I cry about the most, because I just feel so misunderstood. and it sucks. And that's why I was just talking about this today on my Instagram story. There was this app that I heard of that somebody told me about called Peanut. And first of all, how cute. But I downloaded it, and it's basically a Tinder for moms. Like, let me just show you guys. It's so interesting. You get on, well, here's like your profile, okay? And then you get on like the main page, and you can either swipe down to like pass on the mom, or you can swipe up to wave. And if you both wave at each other, it's literally just like Tinder. If you both wave at each other, I've never used Tinder, but I'm pretty sure this is how it works. Somebody please let me know, because I've been calling it Mom Tinder all day. If you both wave at each other, because it goes by your area, so if you both wave at each other, then you can message each other. And you also get notified when somebody waves at you, but you can only see if you also waved at that person. Does that make sense? It's honestly so cute. I've already talked to 2 different people on here, and I just downloaded it last night. Really excited about it because I don't know anyone in Portland, like at all, nobody. I haven't made any friends. I'm a homebody. I seriously don't leave my house. So Gerald is my only friend, and I talk to my baby all day long. That's what I do. So it's gonna be really, really exciting and interesting to have an actual human friend that's also going through what I'm going through. If you're pregnant, you should seriously check that out, especially if you're a first-time mom. Like, because I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. I want to talk to, I just want to connect with other women, you know? Next question, any names picked out? So, oh my God, I get asked this question too, not only by you guys, but by my family. We have a few names picked out. I feel like I know for sure, but I won't know for sure until I see the baby's face. I know that for a fact. I do have a girl name picked out, a first and middle name. And we're actually doing something really interesting with the baby's last name, and I will explain that. Should I explain it right now? I'm gonna call Gerald and ask him what he thinks. Okay, so he's at work right now, and I just texted him and asked him to call me real quick. So we'll see if he sees it and if he does call me. If he does, then I'll answer it and let you guys know if I'm allowed to tell you or not. But I do have a few boy names picked out as well, but I don't think that I want to tell anyone. I think that I want to keep I think I want to keep the baby's name a secret and just continue to drop hints. But like I said, we still don't even know for sure. I feel like we're like 80% sure. And at first, Gerald wasn't sold on what I wanted. Like, I was like, I think about it every night before I go to sleep. There's been weird signs that's been telling me like, yes, name the baby this. But it also depends on when the baby is born and which month, which is a little bit of a hint. So if he calls me, I'll go back and answer that question if he says that I can tell you guys about the baby's last name. Next question, do you have any cravings? So, oh my God, in the first trimester was more so like I couldn't eat certain foods. It wasn't like I craved certain foods. I mean, I definitely had cravings too, but it was more like my food aversions were so severe that I could only eat certain things, if that makes sense. So like, yes, I crave stuff. I've been craving breakfast food since I found out I was pregnant, like all day, every day, doesn't matter what time of day it is, it always sounds good. In the second trimester so far, I have been craving lemonade like crazy. Like, seriously, I'm never that person. I always get water when I go out to eat, or I get like a Sprite. That's like what I get. I either get soda or water. Never juice, never lemonade, but like now I get excited to go out just so that I can order lemonade. The other night, Gerald fell asleep like really early and I was up watching Narcos. It was like 2 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was so hungry. We didn't have any food in the house that I wanted. I DoorDashed Jack in the Box, which I hate Jack in the Box. So gross to me. But they were the only place open that had lemonade, and that's all I wanted at 3 in the morning. So like, lemonade, need it. Another thing would be cheese and crackers and salami, and you can't eat salami when you're pregnant. And it's been, you guys, I pretty much threw a fit at Gerald because he was like, all right, I'm gonna run to Target, what do you want? I want crackers, cheese, and salami. And he was like, you're not supposed to eat salami. And I was like, yes I can, just like hoping that he would like be down, but he wasn't, and he didn't let me get it. Why I've been craving salami, you guys, I don't even really like salami, but I want it with cheese and crackers so bad, and I can't eat it, and it's so frustrating. I like for real threw a fit, like for real got mad at him. Imagine that, please. I'm trying to think of any other weird cravings that I've had. I crave a lot of sweet things, like a lot of chocolate. Like I want a Hershey's bar every single day. Chocolate covered pretzels are so good to me right now. But I honestly haven't had any wild cravings besides like the normal thing, like pickles. Like I could eat a pickle any time of the day. Same with pickled juice. Like I will drink the juice out of the jar, the whole thing. I will drink the whole jar. Please let me know if you are also one of those people, because I feel so alone sometimes. Okay, next question. Would you ever move back to Fort Wayne? So, I get asked this question from my dad a lot and my Grammy. And it's frustrating because I want them to encourage me to be able to do it on my own and be out here. But I also know where their heart is at. Like they just, like my dad was like, I always imagined seeing my grandbaby every day. That's gonna be so weird. And it makes me feel really sad. Like, believe me, you guys, I've already had way too many emotional and mental breakdowns about being so far away from my family. But I have to remember and I have to remind myself why I did that in the first place. I knew what was best for me, and I knew that I wanted to start my family away from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Gerald and I both decided that that was what we wanted to do with our lives. We wanted to move away and start a life with each other on our own. It's tough. It's definitely tough, and it scares me sometimes too when I think about having a baby and being alone and not having any help. But I also know at the end of the day, it's gonna make me such a strong person and mom, and I want to lead that kind of example, and I want to be that kind of role model for my baby, because I had a vision, and that had been my dream for years, was to just finally get away. I think that everything happened so quickly, so that's why my family is kind of like, well, aren't you gonna move back home like you're having a baby? Because I moved out here in March and then got pregnant in August. So my dad and my family already took it hard when I decided to move, because I kind of told them like right before I did it, because I didn't even know that I was gonna do it. I feel like that's kind of sometimes how you have to do things, is you just have to not think about it, not plan it, just do it, just go. But yeah, I think that's why they feel the way they do. I mean, for obvious reasons, they feel why they do, but I think it just happens so quickly, like, and they're just not used to the idea of me even being away yet. So like me being away plus having a baby and them not being able to see the baby whenever they want to, it's tough. It's definitely a sticky situation, but I'm very, very, very close with my dad's side of the family. I know that no matter where I am in the world, I will always have the strongest bond and relationship with them, especially my dad. We plan on visiting all the time, and we're welcoming them to visit anytime they want to. So to answer the question, no, we don't plan on moving back to Fort Wayne. But to make my dad happy, I've also said, like, I don't know anything. Like, I can't say whether or not I'm going to do that, because you don't know what the future holds for you. But as of right now, our plan is to not move back, because this is what we want. Okay, so this video is already probably so long. My camera's gonna stop again. I know it's going to. So I'm gonna answer one more question. And like I said, if I didn't get to your question, or if you want me to do like another round of Q&A, just DM me or drop it in the comments and let me know. Okay, last one. How did you and Gerald meet, and do we have a house together? So every time that somebody asks us how we met, it's like we don't even know what to say. He tells everyone Tinder, just to be annoying, because that's how he is. But we didn't meet on freaking Tinder. I've never had a Tinder in my life. Funny story, I had a friend in high school and middle school and elementary school that I knew for a really long time. We kind of fell off in high school. Like, we were friends, we had like some classes together, but we didn't like hang out outside of school or anything. She ended up, like, after high school, this was like years after high school though, she started dating him. And I didn't know anything about him, didn't know his name, didn't even really know what he looked like. One time she invited me over to her house to hang out. And I go over there. I told you, I knew that it was gonna stop, I knew. So she invited me to come over to her house. I hadn't seen her in forever, and I was just like, all right. And I go over there and he's there, but like I said, like, I didn't even really know who he was. I didn't know his face, I didn't know his name, I didn't know anything about him. She was very secretive. So I didn't know a thing. And then, but I very briefly saw his face, and then he left, like immediately, literally like saw me, didn't say a word, and then just left. And I thought about it for a quick like split second, but I didn't really think about it, you know? I never really hung out with her that much after that. I never saw him again. Then one day I was at my favorite taco spot getting tacos, and he was there, and he like walked past me and like did one of these at me, and I just remember looking at him like, I don't know, like we just locked eyes. It sounds so cheesy. I've never even told this story before. Like I've literally never told this story. This is so funny. I wonder if he's gonna see this and just cringe. I know he's gonna cringe, but it's so, we love talking about it though. Like he's always like, oh, when I saw you at the taco shop. At this point, I don't know if they were even, I think I had a boyfriend at the time. Like I don't even know. I just saw him at the taco shop, and I was like the way that he looked at me was very intense. And I also thought about that for a second, but then it left my mind, you know? Like I still didn't even really, I don't even think I knew his name, but I just recognized his face. And I also recognized the way he looked at me when he left the house the first time he saw me, and then the way that he looked at me in the taco shop. It was like, I don't know, it was weird. And then I actually started hooking up with one of his friends because that was a really rough time, you guys. It was a rough time, let me just tell you. I can't believe I'm even telling you guys this right now. I'm ashamed of that part of my life, but it is what it is. We all have to come from somewhere, you know? So I was actually hooking up with his friend, and that's when I actually like, because he was always around when I was like with his friend. So then I like started to get to know, I mean, I didn't really get to know him, but now I knew his name and his face and a little bit of his personality, and that was about it. And I was always so intrigued by him, but I hated him. For some reason, I didn't like the way that he didn't give me any attention. He wouldn't look at me. Every time he would look at me, it was like almost like he was disgusted. Like anytime that I would talk, he would like argue with anything that I said. He was kind of just a jerk to me. He really was. I didn't like that. So I was back. Then, I mean, like I said, he was always around because I was always with this friend, which this person that I'm talking about that I was hooking up with, it was like, I hooked up with him literally once, but he was just like my friend, who is literally a scumbag, by the way. But we were all friends, and we would hang out a lot of the time. We'd like drink together and like just have a good time, go to parties and stuff together. I would invite them to parties, they would invite me to parties, and it was just like, that was the lifestyle that we lived. Gerald and I became like friends. We started not hating each other. Well, it wasn't like we really hated each other in the first place. It was just like, we just never really got along. We always just kind of bickered. But then we got like closer, and we came to be friends. We started hanging out on our own as friends though. Trust me, like I had no intention, zero intention of being anything other than a friend with him. And he never once tried to make a move on me, never once like flirted with me. When I think back on like, he stayed at my house one night and like slept in my bed and like didn't touch me. And I just remember thinking in my head, like at this point, I still like, I wasn't even really attracted to him, which is so funny. Like, I mean, I was, obviously he's like so handsome and I love him so much, but I don't know, I just wasn't into him. I just wasn't. I was so focused on other people. I was talking to other people. I was just so into my life at that time. When he slept at my house and he didn't make a move, like we just walked to the gas station. We just like stayed up and talked. It was just so random. But then we were like, whatever, like we would hang out. Then one day, this was months went by. I had talked to like 2 different guys at this point, you guys. Like my life was a mess to say the least, okay? And he watched a lot of it happen. He was there for a lot of that. But we were really good friends at this point. Like I cannot emphasize enough on the fact that like I never once thought of him as anything more than a friend, and like the way that he treated me was just like a friend that was a girl. I've always had guy friends, you know? One day, out of the blue, this was like probably a year after the very first time that I saw him at my friend's house, and then when he saw me at the taco shop, like this was probably over a year after that. One day, I will never forget, I was getting my hair done. He called me while I was at the salon and he goes, McKayla, I can't even, I would have to censor out what he said. He said, McKayla, when are you gonna let me... He just said something sexual, okay? But it was like so cute what he said. Like, it wasn't cute, but coming from, it was so out of the blue. I've never heard anything like that from him, like talking about, we never had that relationship ever. So it was like, that's all he said. He literally called me, I answered, and that was the first thing that he said to me, which meant that he was thinking about me, right? And then I just remember laughing like, oh my God, you're drunk, ha ha ha, like what the f, like whatever. But then I remember leaving the hair salon and going to meet Ari, my best friend at the time. I told Ari what he said, and he was like, you know what that means, right? He could tell that I was like seriously thinking about it. And he was like, oh my God, you're in love. We were still friends after that. He didn't bring it up, I didn't bring it up. It was just that. We would still hang out as friends. Like, it wasn't weird, it wasn't awkward. It wasn't like there was some kind of elephant in the room or something that we weren't talking about. It was completely normal. And then one day I was like at some place that I really didn't want to be. And I didn't have a car at this time. My car had just broke down. And he called me and he was like, come over. It was like at like 1 in the morning too, so. Right, I didn't ask any questions. I literally just said, what's the address? And he paid for a cab to get me there. Not even like an Uber or Lyft, like literally paid for a cab. Got me a car, dropped me off, and the rest is history. We've been together every single day since. Like, inseparable. I can't even explain to you guys how much we have been through. We were homeless together. We were sleeping in my truck together. We were just down together. And now we're at the happiest points in our life, and it makes me want to cry. Like, he is truly 100% my soulmate, and God, if he watches this, he's gonna be mortified. He literally hates being courty so much. But I love him more than anything or anyone I've ever loved in my life. And I can't imagine life without him. I couldn't do life without him. I'm sorry that was a very long answer to your question. But that is probably the #1 question that I get asked a lot, other than like about baby things. I get asked, how did we meet? And just Gerald questions in general, because the first year of our relationship, I didn't like talk about him. I didn't like put him on my social media. Like, I had done that with every single relationship, and it just like put some weird stigma on what our relationship was supposed to be. And I just didn't like that. And I also wanted to like just be private a little bit. And then we found out that we were having a baby, and I was like, oh my God, this is the time. This is when we're supposed to. I forgot that there was even a second part to this question. Do we have a house together? So we have an apartment together, but it's a box. It's a room. It's a studio apartment, and it's like 500, not even 500 square feet. So it's small, to say the least. And it's too small to have a baby. So we're definitely looking for something bigger. We want to buy a house together. So I've explained this before in my Instagram live. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. But the market in Oregon right now is crazy. Like, it's skyrocketed because everyone, like, I guess Oregon is the place to be right now for whatever reason. Okay, so my camera's about to die. My storage is literally full. I just had to go through, and as soon as I got done deleting stuff, sorry that it doesn't look anything like it did before, but as soon as I got done deleting stuff, my battery thing started flashing. So I'm gonna end it right here. I'm so sorry. I'll have to do another Q&A very, very soon. So let me know any questions that you want to see or anything. I was just looking at the viewfinder for like 30 seconds straight. I'm so sorry. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have all of you on my journey with me. Please let me know anything you want me to cover, anything you want me to answer, anything you want to know. Also, subscribe and turn on your post notifications and give it a thumbs up if you liked it and if you want to see more. And that's all. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon.